Hello students, welcome to today's video. We are going to study a poem by Vikram Seth called The Frog and the Nightingale. In this poem, we shall learn about a frog and how he thinks his singing abilities are uncontested. We shall also come across an innocent nightingale whose singing charms the entire bog. Before we start with the poem, let us learn a bit about the poet. Vikram Seth is a well-known author of contemporary Indian literature. He is known for his versatility and his easy and readable style of writing. Seth was born in India but was educated abroad. The theme and content of his poetry have been influenced by various cultures and writing styles from across the world. He finds humor and joy in the little things of life. Some of his most notable works are the novel A Suitable Boy and the collection of poems The Golden Gate. Let us now start with the analysis of the poem. The poem follows an AABB rhyme scheme. It starts with the poet describing how a certain frog lived in a place called Bingle Bog and loved to sing. Now, as we all know, the experience of hearing a frog sing or croak is no pleasant prospect. Thus, it comes as no surprise that the other creatures of the bog loathed his voice as the frog croaked on throughout the night. In spite of their protests and pleas, the frog didn't stop singing. In his mind, he was convinced that his singing was sweet and melodious and was unrivaled. So he sang to his heart's content. Needless to say, the frog is an allegory for self-important humans who think the world of themselves. They are deaf to criticism and overestimate their abilities. No wonder people are exasperated by them. One night, a nightingale came and sat on the sumac tree out of nowhere and started singing. The sheer beauty and melody of the nightingale's voice stunned the frog into silence. The nightingale's voice filled the air. The inhabitants of the bog came forth to express their admiration. They had never heard something so magical and divine. The nightingale wasn't used to being praised by others for her singing ability. She was over the moon on being applauded and adored, and she happily sang through the night and continued to come to the tree to sing every day. Mark the names of the animals which are enthralled by the nightingale's voice. They are the ducks, herons, a loon, toads, teals, and tiddlers. Is there anything in common among these species? Yes, none of them have a good singing voice. The frog, on the other hand, was less than impressed with all this. While he admitted that the nightingale was an excellent singer, he couldn't help feeling jealous of her. People were in awe of her singing ability, and no one cared about his own singing. The frog told the nightingale that he is well known for his baritone. He also introduced himself as an expert singer and songwriter and criticized her talent. The nightingale, who was a noble and innocent creature, believed the frog. She was eager to learn from an expert who agreed to take her under his wing. The frog told the nightingale that in spite of having a good voice, she lacked the experience and expression required to make her brilliant. The nightingale was excited at the thought of getting trained by an expert like him. She called him Mozart in disguise. Note that, although the nightingale was an excellent songster, she had very poor judgment skills. She considered the frog an accomplished musician and got tricked by him. She was too gullible for her own good. The frog made the nightingale believe that she could become a singing sensation with his help. She grew confident and started performing better than ever. She rehearsed and improvised her songs according to the frog's advice. The frog deducted a fee from the charges he made from the creatures who wanted to hear the nightingale sing. The nightingale became a singing sensation as everyone was impressed by her voice. The frog was happy that they were both earning and becoming popular thanks to the nightingale's skills. She was paying him the money they collected from her singing as his tuition fee. At the same time, he was extremely jealous of the bird's talent and bitter because nobody ever wanted to hear him sing. Nobody would ever travel such long distances to hear his songs. Filled with envy, the frog made the nightingale sing incessantly without any rest, even on rainy days. The nightingale's voice suffered as a result, growing weak and hoarse. Her songs became sorrowful and pale. The crowd stopped coming to hear her sing. The frog became angry since the ticket sales crashed. He made the nightingale work all the time. She lost her joy of singing and became sick. She never lost her dedication for singing, but was tricked by the frog into believing she wasn't good enough. One day, the effort proved to be too much and she burst a vein, dying in the process. We find that the frog turned the nightingale's innate skill into a commercial activity overnight. He sold her art and then manipulated her into paying a share of her hard-earned money. After the nightingale's death, the frog became the unrivaled king of the bog. He continued to sing without any competition. He argued that the nightingale didn't realize that her songs were unique and beautiful. The poem talks about how it is necessary to have confidence in one's own ability. It is a sad reality that the world is full of miscreants who always look to con people for their own gain. One must always be confident of one's own abilities and never let others dictate one's choices. That's all for today. We shall quickly recap the main features of this poem in our next video. Till then, goodbye.